Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Today I'm coming to you guys with my July TBR. Now I have like 13 books on this list, so we will see how things land. I just missed a whole week of reading last month, so I think I'm just excited and I want to make up for it. First book I'm going to talk about is The Name of the Wind, and this is by Patrick Rothfuss. And I have heard a lot about this book, and I am excited to read this book. I basically haven't read this book yet because it is huge and a little intimidating, and I keep thinking to myself, well, when am I going to have time to read this? And I am making time to read it. Elliot Brooks basically Twittered me and she said, hey, do you want to buddy read this with me this month? And at first I was like, oh my goodness, somebody watches my channel? Are you for real? And then I was like, yes, I want to read it with you. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I already have a huge TBR. So I literally took 2 books off my TBR to make room for this book because it is a big one, and I will be reading it this month. I'm not 100% sure what it's about, honestly. I know it's about a guy like looking back on his life and like his adventures and misadventures and all these other things. That's all I know, but I've been told it's pretty great and I'm looking forward to reading it. Next is another book I'm excited to read, and that is Our Dark Duet. I am reading this one with my husband. He read The Savage Song last month and he really liked it, which is hilarious. I read it last fall and I was like, boy, this is a really good book. I think you'd really like this book. And he was like, uh-huh. And then he did. I love being right. It never happens. So basically we're going to be buddy reading this book together. We're both going to be listening to it. I got it on Audible and I'm excited to listen to it. And then we are going to have a couples discussion on it, which is very exciting because he's fantastic. I think you guys will just love him. This is the sequel in a duology by Victoria Schwab. And it is about basically when people do bad things, it kind of manifests and creates monsters in a bit of a dystopian society. That's the vague of it. So if that sounds good to you, you should read it. I liked it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book on my TBR is Kindred by Octavia Butler. Now I actually heard about this a few years ago because it has a time travel aspect to it. So this modern woman who is Black goes back in time to interact with her ancestors who I believe are enslaved in the South. And then sometimes she has a bit of a problem getting back to the present. And I think she makes a few trips if I'm correct. So this was a book that I heard about years ago and I heard it was great. And I was like, okay, I'll read it. And I never got around to reading it. And then a friend of mine in real life who watches my booktube channel was like, can I recommend a book to you? You should read this book, you would like it. And I said, okay, I'll read it. And she said, when? And I said, and you know, it's hard to pin down somebody when they're going to read a book. And I said, I will read it next month. So I am excited. It's not like twisting my arm, and actually am in the mood for something historical history-ish. So I think it'll be a good read for me. The next books I would like to read next month are The Slippery Slope and The Grim Grotto. And this is the 10th and 11th book in the series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket. Now, again, I can't talk to you about what these books are about because I'd be ruining things, but the series is about 3 kids who become orphans, and it is a long line of trying to find somebody to care for them. Next, I have The Sign of 4 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the next book in the Sherlock Holmes series, and I'm going to go ahead and try and read 1 book a month. I know there's a selection of short stories as well, so I might read those in a bigger clump, but I'm just going to keep trucking away. I really enjoyed last month's, so I think this one will be good. Next, I have Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. This is the 2nd volume in the series. I have no idea how many volumes there are, and it is a manga, and it is about a guy and his brother who are part machine, and they're kind of like a bit of a vigilante. It's pretty fun. So I enjoyed the first one, so I decided to read the second one. Next, I have The Secret Adversary, and this is by Agatha Christie. This is the first in the Partners in Crime series. There's only 4 in the Partners in Crime series with Tommy and Tuppence, and I'm actually almost done with it. You can see, maybe not. I only have like 20 pages left, and I really wanted to finish last month and read it with last month, put on last month's wrap up, but I just didn't get to it. So it'll go on next month's wrap up because I'll probably finish this tonight. This is a book that is about two people who are just friends who basically decide that they're going to try and solve this murder thing because they want the money. They're in it for the money, for the Benjamins. And of course things go awry and people are getting kidnapped, and it's a great book. I really enjoyed it and I can't wait to finish it. Next up, I have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. This will be the second Morgan Matson book I am to read. I actually started it in May when we went on a bit of a road trip, but I didn't get very far in, only like 3 chapters in. So I am hoping I can finish it in July because there are a few road trips I will be going on, and I am determined to only read this while I'm on a road trip. I know it seems silly, but they have like playlists in there and candies you're supposed to eat, and I'm like, this is so cute. Basically, it's about a girl and a guy that are driving across the country from California to, I believe, Vermont. No, Connecticut. It's Connecticut. And they have a route that's all mapped out for them, and they look at it and they're like, no, we don't want to do that. So they take a detour, hence the title. Now, they are just friends, so I know this is a cute contemporary YA book, so there will be a romance angle, but I think I can live with it because it's just so darn cute. Next, I have The Book Jumper by Mechthild Glacier. That is not an American name. Basically, this is about a girl who is able to jump into books and experience with characters and whatnot, which I think sounds like something I've been dreaming about since I was a small child, and she gets to do this. But then things start going awry and people start going missing, and she has to go in there and help them, and I just think it sounds fun. I'm actually putting this on this month's TBR because I had 2 friends who read this back in January because I told them about it and I told them it was going to be great. And then I never read it, and they did read it. And I'm going to be seeing them a lot towards the end of this month, so I best be getting on this and reading this here book. Next on my list is a carryover from last month, which is Geekarella, and this is by Ashley Poston. I'm pretty sure I will be getting to this one. Like I said last month, I lost an entire week, which I couldn't read, so this month I will be getting to it. It's basically a Cinderella retelling, hence the name, and it takes place in like modern day, and a girl who's kind of connected with, like, we'd say like a Star Trek-ish convention, and I've talked about this before. It's been around the internet a lot, so it's not going to be a hard one to figure out, but I'm very excited to read this one. Next up, I have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, I am definitely going to try and read this month, for sure, for definite sure. I know it's been on my last 2 months TBRs, and I keep saying, oh, I really want to read it. I do want to read it. Now, saying that I have this one, and I have Name of the Wind, and I have one more big honkin' book here, we will have to see what I have time for, but my desire to read this has not gone away, and it is on my list, and I'm going to make this happen, I promise. Basically, this is a story that is like a heist, and it's told in 6 different perspectives. I think that I would love this book, so I really want to read it. I like heists. I think they're fun. So I really am going to try this month. For serious, guys. And the last book on my month is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I know, I said I was going to read this last month, and I was going to, but like I said, I lost a whole week, and I just didn't have time. But I am positive I'm going to be reading this month, and I'm very excited about it. It looks great. I don't know a ton about it. I actually had somebody who was like, oh, you have a booktube channel? Have you read Illuminae? I love the part where and I was like, I haven't read it yet. Don't say a word. Well, don't you know what it's about? It's about, and I'm like, no. I like not knowing things about books. I like going in and being surprised. So the surprise is still there. She didn't spoil diddle for me. Hooray! So those are all the books that I want to read this month. That is 13 books. I honestly want to read all 13. I don't know how exactly I got such a huge list. I didn't even put a bunch of other books on there that I did want to read. I moved those to my August TBR in the hopes that this 13 will be doable. So we will have to see how I do. Go ahead and comment down below what you think the first book I should read this month is. Basically, the first book is probably the only one I'm definitely going to read outside of The Secret Adversary because I'm almost done with that one. But what book do you guys think I should start with this month? Please comment down below. Please like if you like, and please subscribe. I put videos up every Tuesday and every Friday, so you will know exactly when you can see me next. How lucky are you? Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Goodbye. Next on my list is Book Jumper by Mitch. What a name is that? Mechthild Glacier.